Are we live yet? Henry McClure live. I am live. Just remember, Henry McClure live. I'm not suicidal in any way. I don't plan on taking my own life. So just in case, you know, somebody gets some resentments, I don't plan on hanging myself in my jail cell. Hey, how are you? It's not funny till you get your Tesla key. I like I like the new euphemism, the new phrase I've come up with, the infrastructure of opportunity. The Let me repeat that. The infrastructure of opportunity. And so let's just say how you're raised, and how you're raised creates an infrastructure for opportunity. But also, no matter what your plight is, or right, wrong, or indifferent, you've everybody still has the same opportunities. You really do. Um, you just got to outsmart them. And okay, so maybe Barron Trump might have just a little extra, you know, and maybe it's just because he's like 6'8". What do you say, Doctor Dunk? Hey, Doctor Dunk, Dunkachino. Did you see? You know why Al Pacino made that Dunkachino ad, the Dunkin' Donut? Because the dude's broke. Anyway, so Doctor Dunk, did you get more opportunity being 6'8" than think about Joe Ledbetter? What is he, like 5'5"? I mean, what's the difference? Or Braxton? Hey, Braxton, thank you. The Chrysler people, thank you. I love you, Braxton. Infrastructure of opportunity. Keep that in your mind. You know, people are I think there are more people that have resentments against the chamber than we know. And my dear friend, um, one of my dear friends the other day said, Henry, you just say what people are thinking at home. Okay. Uh, and I feel better for saying it. I was telling a friend of mine, and maybe it's the 10 years of sobriety, but I feel like I'm really kind of coming of age. And, I got some new real estate listings that I'm going to start working on. Uh, Thank you to John Hoffer. Got a new car today. Chrysler 300. It's new to me. It was a 2021. Still has factory warranty. Go out and see my friends out at. They've got a whole used car division. But man, what a nice guy. I told him I'm going to run for mayor, and I'm going to run for mayor. I'm officially announcing it on tonight's show. I'm going to run for mayor of Topeka. I'm going to run for mayor. I am the mayor. Should have heard me today talking to these people. They were here to sell some stuff to Stormont Vale. I started talking about Bishop Vale, and then I talked to them about Brown versus Board and the McClure factor. You got to know the history of your community. It's just like recovery. You've got to identify your shortcomings. Where are your weaknesses? What creates your alcoholism or drug addiction? And once you get it all out on the table, you talk about it and you cure yourself. And I think one of the sicknesses of Topeka is that we've got the Greater Topeka Partnership and the Chamber of Commerce basically dictating all the decisions and creating the infrastructure of opportunity, but only for their members. And there's so many nice people that live in Topeka. And here's what you're going to have to do. This is what I'm asking you to do. And you don't even need to like me to vote for me. In fact, because I don't care if you do like me. It'd be nice to be liked, but I can't worry about it. But I also can't worry about putting up yard signs. And I can't worry about the popularity side of it, the popularity contest. And I'm serious. If you vote for an incumbent, you're voting for the guys that are out there. So I want to distance myself so far from the incumbents that you'd be supporting a guy that would key a Tesla. I'm not saying Spencer Duncan is that guy, but he's an independent. I mean, pick a side. Okay, so I'm independent, and I'm sure that. Oh man, this friend of mine came up to me and he says, I told him I was running for mayor, and he goes, "Well, you'll be running against Tuck Duncan Jr." And this guy's just got this beautiful outlook. But here's what I'm saying, you all. You're going to have to tell somebody to vote for me. Because that's it. It's a grassroots effort. Hey, if you want to donate to the Republican Party, I'd go do that. I think that there's such a huge difference today in Republicans and Democrats. Now, look, I'm going to go out on a limb here. Hey, I made friends with Patrick Schmidt. He talked to me. I didn't vote for him. I voted for Tyler. He knew I was going to vote for Tyler all along. I didn't vote for John Akla. But I'm telling you something. If you want something done, call your representative. And if you don't get any response from your representative, call John Akla and say, Henry McClure told me to call you. And you'll get customer service from that guy. Oh, and we've got to get somebody to run against the guy that voted, the Republican that voted against judicial reform. We've got to reform. We can't have, it's in the judiciary and the chamber and the Greater Topeka Partnership, it's exactly the same thing. We've got the same people appointing all the same people to the boards and things. We should elect the MTAA. You should run for office. We should elect the library board. You should run for office. The NGOs that control tax dollars should be elected. We should elect the Board of Regents. You know, the Board of Regents at Washburn, if they're raising our property tax, well, maybe the endowment should pick up some of that. You know, it'd be cool if we could create a way that you donate to your church and then the church earmarks some of the funds to pay property tax. What am I for? I'm for getting the Citizens Commission up. It's state law. I'm for putting the planning commissions back together. They work better. We're one community. Look, our community, whether you like it or not, goes to Shawnee County. White Flight created all the different school districts, but basically those people are Topekans. You know, they moved out to have their slice of the pie. You know, a little more elbow room. But part of it was they just weren't going to go to school with black folk. Hey, and if you need a black friend, call me. I'll be your friend. A lot of black people think I'm black. And that's a compliment. I identify as a black man. We never saw color like Mace Siegel. He didn't see color. It was about green. You know, my dad, my mom, our family, the Bantleons, we didn't see color. Our infrastructure for opportunity didn't include racism. But look, so I'm putting my money where my mouth is. So I'm going to run for office, but I'm going to do it kind of a real different, organic way. You know, I got a phone call. Hey, and by the way, City of Topeka, how come you're not answering my corridor request? And maybe Brenda's on vacation. But usually when you make a corridor request, they acknowledge it. I'm going to send it to Amanda Stanley and say, Amanda, because Cora has a certain amount of time you're supposed to respond. And I want to know everything in that corridor request. I want to know, I want the details of the lease. I'd like to see the professional opinion. And so what you got, if you vote for me, is somebody who's going to stand up to the Greater Topeka Partnership. And look, I know Cody Foster and Jim Klossman, they're great guys, got a lot of money, but I've dealt with a lot bigger than those guys. A lot bigger, day to day. So they don't scare me, they don't impress me. I like Jimbo. Jimbo will at least call me up, because, he'll take my calls, because who knows? I might have some wacky idea and he'll make money on it. He's got property for sale. Hell, I make a deal with him. Hell, I go to the Pennant and support Cody's. The Pennant's a cool place, man. Bowling. Cody's put a lot of money in this town. But that just because you did all those good things, it's like a priest, Did you ever see the movie Spotlight? Yeah, the church does a lot of things, but there's a couple of them that we don't really support what they do. And what they're doing on the old AT&T building needs to have the spotlight shined on it. Absolutely. But man, there's a dear friend of mine. Man, he said, hell with Topeka. It's just brain damage. And really, how many people, I want to be mayor just because I want to see how many people we turn away. Hell, there isn't anybody that I have a better nose for a deal than anybody you'll ever meet. Ask Dana Kaye. But think about it. If I take no money, I don't owe anybody anything. And it's all about change. I don't have to do what I'm told if I don't take your money. I get it. You elected me. It's like what's going on right now. We elected a platform. You might not like the guy, and so I will have a platform. You'll see, we're electing Henry, and he's going to do this stuff. Look, they elected that guy to be in my way. The chamber and Go Topeka elected that guy, and you know who I think would make a good county commissioner is, and he's not a Republican, but I'd sure vote for Mike Halgan if his name was on the ballot. I personally want to support, and I will help anybody that's a Make America Great person. And you know something? There will be converts. There will be converts from the Democratic Party. Well, I don't really want to be a Republican. Well, but I like this Make America Great theme. How could you ever be against that? And how could you? I mean, are you seeing what's really happening about the true character? And why isn't there a Democrat out there saying, stop it. Stop the vandalism. Elon Musk, I think he only owns 13% of Tesla. But he's an American. It's American businessman. And look, I think being an incumbent is that's enough sin. I don't need to point out all the stupid votes. Hey, Spencer, let's talk about this real quick. And those that are trying to get this trust fund going, the reason people won't donate to the trust fund is because you're not responsible with our tax dollars. And it's like Spencer wants to be in the real estate business with this trust fund money and the land bank and all this stuff. Well, dude, you ought to see what it's like to be on this side of the fence. And I'm telling you, there's a point in time where I think I'll be able to prove discrimination. Molly Howie, yap, 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 Molly. Well, that doesn't create jobs, Henry. That doesn't create jobs, Henry. That doesn't create jobs. Well, the lease obligating us probably to a $6.5 million lease and $4.5 million in infrastructure, that didn't create jobs. And it's bullshit. You're trying to create a market for that AT&T building where, and Cody, why don't you just stick to selling your annuities and being all that great guy? Bouncing around making your TV ads about, the rapper. Hell, I'll tell you what, I'll lease your mall for free if you denounce that you're taking the AT&T money. I can fix your mall. I know how to do it. There isn't anybody better in the mall business than Henry McClure. I got a lot of people that would agree with it. Today, if Mace were here and if Dana were active, they can outdeal me. But I was a pretty good deal maker. And I did a lot of deals with the small companies. And that's what we got to do. We got to create an infrastructure of opportunity for small business to grow. But we shouldn't be out keying Teslas and burning his stuff down. And these judges out there. So we're trying to change how we do judges in the state of Kansas. The Speaker of the House says the bane of his existence has been the judges and trying to reform the school districts. Well, look at the judge. These judges don't have any, and these people were installed by Soros, the dark money of the evil empire. These are the people that study the dark side of the force. And people that are out there saying, that one lady in Congress, I hope she gets censored. Censored. Censured. Okay. But she can't, on her birthday, she wants to bring Elon Musk down. You hear what I'm saying? How could you be against a guy? He's like the Thomas Edison of today. And it's just jealousy. Man, when jealousy rears its ugly head. So you can't donate to my campaign. And if you're for me and you want to help me get a slate of people in, go donate to the Republican Party. I think if Ty Masterson throws his hat in the ring, I think he carries himself well. I don't know the Secretary of State. I don't know him. But we need Make America Great people to come forward in districts 1, 3, 5. We've got, I'm going to support Earl McIntosh. As soon as I get my next commission, I'll write him a check. Hey, speaking of commissions, did I tell you I'm in the Glass Houses studio? Did I tell you that I'm moving down the hallway into suite 102 with the red door? And I like the red door. It was a the office of Ryan Mowinkle's State Farm business, but he moved upstairs. He owns the building. This is just one of many buildings in the Ryan Mowinkle empire of commercial real estate. Ryan's going to come on the show someday and do a podcast with me about, he's got some stories to tell. Well, let's hear his story. But I did show the space today and also talk to the guy who's upstairs, because mental health, we got to get some more mental health going around this community. You know, with the loss of Meningers and plus the people short-circuiting over Trump derangement syndrome. But I would never, personally, it's like Jerry Morgan. Dude, you're just making a bad decision. But I don't hate Jerry. He could have made a lot more money making a deal with me. But whatever. Whatever, Ski. But we've got to get some people out there to come forward. And so I'm throwing my hat in the ring. Mayor McClure. And my friend Brian. Oh, Henry, you'll be running for Tuck Duncan Jr. Hey, and by the way, Tuck, how you doing on your lawsuit? So is this whole thing at the State House trying to pull the plug on revenue neutral? Is it because of the lawsuit that you've got on the county and our buddy Earl McIntosh has in the city? So, look, these guys just don't want to run their business. So we're going to stick our nose out of a lot of stuff. We're going to, and we're not going to hire consultants to do stuff. We don't elect a bunch of people that don't know how to do anything. You follow? At least I know how to do stuff. Well, nobody's calling in to talk to me. I've had a long day. I gotta go to Emporia tomorrow. I'm showing a manufacturer that wants to come to Kansas space in Emporia. Isn't that fun? Plus, I got a bunch of land to sell over in Emporia next to the Pilot Travel Plaza that's under construction. So I've got a bunch of deals that I'm working on. And that's why I got the new wheels, so I can be out there on the road. Henry McClure Live, you'll see me. But I need to lease this space ultimately. I got a lot of stuff going on. All right. I got to go home, take a hot shower, hop in bed, get a good night's sleep. We got to be in Emporia. We got our meeting at 10 o'clock, the walkthrough of the building. What's so nice is I pick up a listing in Emporia, and then I get another business listing. Thank you to the Red Brick LLC. Thank you. Life's good. And to you people that are worried about public humiliation or people ruining your business, and because that's what the other side does. Look, they'll burn down your dealership. They'll key your car. Look at what kind of people are those people? My business has never been so good because I don't deal and know, I probably know them, but I get more business for telling it like it is. You know, I'm willing to pick up the phone and call people. Sometimes you have to go knock on doors to get deals done. And I'd rather have a grassroots. I'd rather have a grassroots approach to politics. If you see my name on the ballot, vote for me. If you'd like to tell your neighbor to vote for me, do it. If you'd like to donate to the Republican Party, want your help. But we need volunteers. We need people to get involved with the and create the infrastructure of opportunity with kicking the chamber out of downtown Topeka, go Topeka, visit Topeka. The Greater Topeka Partnership doesn't need to be the mother hen of all that. Pee Wee Herman's moving out anyway. Or as some call him, Howdy Doody. Anyway, I digress. Henry McClure Live. Andrew, I'll be seeing you or your associates over there. $50 is all it takes for city council. I'm live. We'll do this before I go. Wait till you see the new studio. It actually has a place for a studio audience. I love you.